next interview is?
North Shore Studios, Bad X Comics.
Alright. Let me get both of you on the frame here.
Okay.
That's better. Okay. What made you guys want to get into comics or art to begin with?
Loved them when I was a child. My mother taught me how to read comic books.
Loved comic books as a child too, and it was my way to escape into something fantastic.
That's awesome. How did you guys get started? Like, what was the first thing you did?
First thing I drew, I copied the cover of a comic book. It was, I can't remember, it was the Man Thing. And it was a cover of the Man Thing fighting a Viking. And my parents thought I traced it. And that made me so happy that I was able to copy it so well that they thought I traced it. And I hung it on my wall for years, and that got me interested in drawing comics.
That's awesome.
And I started drawing them, and drawing them ever since.
The first one I ever saw was an Avengers comic book, and I was really excited about it, and I just always liked to draw. So the first thing I ever drew was a group spread of Captain America, Iron Man, and the characters at that time, who I didn't even know about the comic book, but Wonder Man, the Vision, and Miss Marvel. But I loved the artwork so much, and it was which became one of my almost absolute influences, which name is George Perez. But I loved it so much that I continued to draw on it, and even asked my sister if she could help me, who was an artist, and my love of it just continued to grow as I read, because, like I said, I slipped into this fantasy world that was excellent. It had action, it had adventure, and when you slip into those adventure stories, you slip into something wonderful.
I wish I could draw.
You can.
What kind of roadblocks or struggles have you guys run into?
I'm a writer, and nobody wants to read your stories. They're afraid they're going to hit on something they're writing. You know, I'm a writer-artist. I do draw too, but so that was a huge roadblock. If you don't do something like right now, you're seeing television writers getting gigs in comic books, and they suck. Sorry for your interview, but they're really bad. That's why a lot of comic books right now read like bad television shows. So that's a roadblock. Getting people to really look at you and take you seriously when you're young. Because we're old enough that when we did the old thing where you had to take your portfolio around, and it's a real bruise to your ego. And all your family and all your friends are telling you how great you are. You wait before a professional, and he says, your anatomy is wrong, your perspective is wrong. We used to talk about it. Well, how did your review go? Anatomy, BS, anatomy, perspective. So that was a roadblock. That's probably the biggest one getting started. That's why so many guys end up now. It's much better for people now because you can self-publish. It's a lot easier with the internet. You go on the web. You don't need Marvel or DC to be able to tell your story.
Yeah.
And if you're a writer, you have a story you want to tell, and you want people to read it. So,
the roadblock I received is that
you can only draw stick figures.
Yeah, one is that if you're not, one of the major roadblocks I see is this: if you're not one of the big guys' drinking buddies, you're not getting published, because a lot of times nowadays, I was told by an agent one time, he says, do you have time to go to the cons? I said, well, I'm going to different cons. He said, no, let me go to the big cons. And what it is if you go to those cons, you find an editor or someone, and you go there and you buy them a drink. And then you go to the next con and they notice you and you do it again, you buy them a drink. And you get to be buddies with them, and they get you in. It's not necessarily what it is in every industry of it, but a lot of times to get recognized, you have to be able to take the time to do that. You can get in by your artwork, but it's a lot harder route. And that's why, I don't want to sound like sour grapes, but that's why you see a lot of bad artists in good comic books. So that's one of the roadblocks I received, and just because it's not only about the art; it's about who you know.
What were some of your guys' favorite comic books growing up? I saw that.
Because of being Scandinavian descent, Thor. But I mean, I liked a lot of them. Excalibur. Then actually the big turning point with my comic book life when I got a little bit older, it was always Marvel DC. When I got a little bit older, I discovered British comics. AD 2000, Judge Dredd, and the British artists were so graphic. They get away with a little bit more than we could in the States.
Yeah.
More blood, more guts. Simon Beasley with eyeballs popping out, veins going everywhere, and it's like, wow. So then it became kind of that. Then you get a little bit older, and you like some of the independent skin because you're pushing. You're not under the guidelines, that Marvel and DC is. But you can push the edge a little bit. When you get a little bit of that more rebellious 20s age, you don't want the norm. But then you go back to the old stuff. So I like them all. I mean, then I have children of my own, and they got into comics. So my son got into Japanese manga and anime, so that started to influence my art. Some of it is beautiful art, and it's fun, and it was something when you can be involved with your children, it's like the biggest thing ever. When they like something that you like, even if it's a little bit different, there's nothing better.
Oh yeah.
So.
What about you?
My favorites of all, when I was younger, I saw, like I said, my first comic book that I ever saw was The Avengers. So I saw characters about Captain America and Thor and Iron Man and all of them, and I loved them. But the movie, Superman, the movie came out, and then that made me fall in love with the character of Superman, where I invested a lot of time, seeing who Superman was. So a lot of times I got involved with that, but then one of my absolute favorite comic books came out, and it was called the Teen Titans. It had Nightwing, who was Robin, Starfire, Cyborg, Kid Flash, and Raven and Wonder Girl. And I absolutely fell in love with that. But mine stayed pretty mainstream. So my favorites have always been like Captain America, Superman, and the Teen Titans. My absolute favorite of all time though is Superman. My son's middle name is even Kal-El after the Superman.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What are you guys currently working on?
Joe right now is working on a commission job with He-Man versus Lion-O, which is really interesting to do. Our big project, I started something with Joe a long time ago. We decided we were going to make a go of this. We want to do our own story. And so right now we're working on getting a website up. It's going to be badaxcomics.com. And we got stories we want to tell. And we're going to tell the stories on the internet, on the web. And we're going to be trying to tell 3 at once. And we'll see which ones are cool. And then when we get enough of them, we'll gather them up, we'll publish them, and we'll bring the books to the cons like this.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of what we're working on. And we're working on different ways of getting our story heard.
Oh yeah.
We think we have some really cool stories. We're lifelong comic books. I've read them for, I'm not even going to tell you how long I've read them. But, it's just, you feel like you have stories to be told, and you want somebody to read them. It's just because, I don't know, it's just, I want to see our book with our Badax logo, with our stuff on it, and then I have another goal. I'll tell you this. I've kind of adopted this guy. Met him in illustration school a long time ago. He's my brother from another mother. I'm the godfather of his youngest son.
Yes.
And our kids call each other uncle. And I want to get him a job with DC drawing Superman. If I could put something out there where he gets enough people to see him and he gets a job with Superman, I'll retire and just draw and paint on the beach and not worry about all this stuff.
Do you guys want to say anything before I
love comic books with all your heart. The comic books are better. The movies are cool. Go to the source. Read the comic books. And read. Here, can I tell you something really cool?